Now we are going to start with the topic that deals with transgenic animals. Now see the name, it will give you an idea, and if you have an idea about it, thanks to the knowledge about science fiction things if you have seen, you will get to know that these would be the animals which have undergone some or other sort of genetic engineering being done on them. Now if you remember what was genetic engineering, that the genotype, or rather I would say the genome, has to be altered and something externally has to be added. Okay. Now in the case of transgenic animals, trans means that would be something different, genome would be altered. So supposedly the genome of the organism and specifically animal has this composition, supposedly, okay. You alter it and add something, some new genome content, that means a new gene has been added, and of course the gene would give other results as expected. Those results will not come. Supposedly this part of the gene was giving some specific result. Now that a new addition has been added, the result would be different. So this is what transgenic animal is all about. We had talked about rDNA technology, so we know by now what it means and what transgenic animal would be like. Now transgenic animal will have an external gene incorporated into its genome. And what is the significance of such animals? So this is the area of concern for our lesson. What is the significance of obtaining such transgenic animals? Now if anyone of you who is watching has been a fan of science fiction movies, as I myself am, I've grown up seeing the things where the animal is altered and it's made to do certain things which are not in its potential, and because an external gene has been added, so the animal could do wondrous things or the human being could do wondrous things. That's what is seen in the science fiction movies usually. Now over here it's not like that, it's a little bit different because we have lots and lots of revenue coming and we need to give some purpose to that revenue. That means some the purpose that it aims at should be for some or other benefit of the human race. So we see the significance of transgenic animals would not be the conventional warfare that you see in movies or otherwise. It would be some benefit of the human race. And what are those benefits? That covers under the significance. The first benefit is that you see the role of a particular gene in the organism. So supposedly you have a transgenic animal, you would use that transgenic animal as a lab rat to observe that what a gene specifically performs. So you are going to see the role of gene if you have to check, okay. Then secondly, this could be used for biomedical testing as well. Now under biomedical testing, what do we have? We have certain vaccines which are made as a result of rDNA technology. So we have vaccine testing, okay. Other clinical testing is also covered under this particular field, where we have specific enzymes which are designed in a way so that whatever vaccine you have created or you have made it, you are going to check its effect using the transgenic animal instead of the host itself, which would be a human being. So supposedly you have made a vaccine for hepatitis, just for example, though hepatitis has a recombinant vaccine for itself. So hepatitis is the disease against which you have a vaccine going. Now you have to check that particular vaccine, how it works. So you are going to incorporate the gene that will have the effect of the vaccine inside an animal. That could be a pig, that could be a rat, and that transgenic animal would give you the effect that the gene would show under the effect of vaccine. So this is one significance of having the transgenic animals. Now supposedly you have to see what particular protein is being formed by a given gene. So you can decipher that also by incorporating the same gene into a transgenic animal, obtain the animal, then see the effect of that gene in that animal, and you get an idea what the gene is all about. Then we have the third significance, that supposedly for instance, you're having testing done, you have seen the role of gene. What about the product? So we have biological products as well. Now how do we get this biological products thing? Now you know that a specific gene is responsible for producing a protein. Now supposedly the protein is not being formed. Now as we talked about the formation of insulin, we used E. coli for the formation of insulin. Now supposedly you have that insulin is being produced in a particular animal that gives you milk, and that insulin protein is in the milk itself. Though insulin, if consumed in the form of milk, it would be digested in the stomach. That is not an option available. I am just giving you an example, that for example you get some biological product which is not otherwise available through animal produce itself. And you know, animals form a lot of forms a big chunk. Animals are usually forming a big chunk of the food that humans consume. So that could become the part of the human food in human consumption, and the biological product that could be needed would be produced by transgenic animals only. Like we have the example of alpha-1 antitrypsin protein, which could be produced by incorporating a gene into the transgenic animal, and that protein would be produced in abundant quantities, and it is used for curing emphysema. Now you remember what is emphysema? Emphysema is the smoker's disease. Those who smoke, those who are chain smokers, they have this problem, and it could be used, this particular protein could be used for curing that emphysema problem. Apart from that, there is a particular milk protein which normally the breastfeeding mother cannot produce, the breastfeeding mother produces, and otherwise it is not found in cow's milk. Now supposedly you get such transgenic cows which have that particular gene which is responsible for producing that particular protein which is present in mother's milk, then we are in a way going to counter and curtail lot of deficiency diseases which occur in those children which cannot get mother's milk. Okay, so this is one more application of transgenic animals. So when we see the significance of transgenic animals, we get to see that first of all you don't have to do the testing on the living individuals, that is in the case of humans, because this is aimed at the benefit of human race. So we see the role of the gene in the transgenic animal itself. Instead of checking it on the humans, and then we use this particular purpose in biomedical testing as well, where we make recombinant DNA vaccines and check it using the transgenic animals. There are certain products which are being produced in the world around you, and their clinical testing, many pharmaceutical products, they can be tested on the transgenic animals instead of testing them on a group of individuals, because they can have alter effects as well. Lastly, we have the biological products which could be produced incorporating the gene into the transgenic animal, and then rearing the animals in great quantities can lead us to the production of certain biological products which are otherwise not possible to produce. So you get an idea what is the significance of having transgenic animals around us, though this thing is having an ethical issue that you cannot use living forms, that ultimately animals are also live, so you cannot use them for your own purpose, but transgenic animals are a short method to get an idea that whatever recombinant DNA technology practice you are performing, what effect it has before introducing it for humans. So we get an idea what transgenic animals are significant for. So this is all you have in this lesson.